Well, hello, Faith family. You know, Jesus shows up in some very strange places sometimes. And during this epidemic, I think we might be finding him in healthcare workers, in delivery drivers, maybe in online teachers, or just maybe your helpful neighbor. All these people who sacrifice and put themselves out so that the rest of us can have a pretty normal life during this weird time. Now, in the gospel lesson for Easter 3, that comes out of the 24th chapter of Luke's gospel, we have two disciples, Cleopas and another guy, he doesn't get a name, and they're on their way to the town of Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They've come to Jerusalem for the Passover, and they are big Jesus fans. But then Jesus was crucified. And on Easter morning, they still don't believe the reports that he's been resurrected. So they're on their way back home. And you know, when you get your hopes up for something and they get dashed, you feel so bad and despondent. But this stranger approaches them on the road, and he gives them a whole different way of looking at things. He asks them, was it not necessary that the Messiah should suffer before coming into his glory? Wasn't it necessary he should suffer? I mean, the Jewish people have suffered in Egypt, in Babylon, under the oppression of Rome and a bunch of other client states. The prophets all suffered. You and I suffer sometimes too. I mean, suffering sucks, but it makes us smarter and more compassionate, and it gives us empathy. And would you really, really want a Messiah that couldn't look you right in the eye and say, hey, look, I know what you're going through? Now, when these two disciples get to Emmaus, they realize that their friend from the road, he's got a further journey to make. But they do the Christ-like thing. They say, look, buddy, it's almost dinner time. Why don't you stay and eat with us? We'll put you up for the night. They open their hearts. They open their home to him. They invite him to their table. And when he breaks the bread, son of a gun, it turns out that it was Jesus all along. They saw Jesus, but they also had the opportunity to be Jesus for him, even when they felt so bad and despondent. Didn't Jesus say, when you've done it for the least of these, you've done it also for me? I always figure that my job, our job as Christians, is to see Jesus in other people and then to be Jesus for other people. But if you can't see him, you can't be him. While we're here traveling on this road, keep your eyes out for Jesus, because you never know where he's going to show up. May the peace of God that passes our understanding keep your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Amen.